Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is 8:06 here in St. Vincent and the Eastern Caribbean. We just want to remind everyone that Mother's Day is approaching and look out for the Flow team in Barely and surrounding areas with amazing Mother's Day deals from Flow. The St. Vincent Electricity Services Limited urges customers to pay in full any balance brought forward from previous bills to avoid the inconvenience of being disconnected. This is an urgent message to customers in the areas between Richland Park and Bayaboo, Kingstown and Annisvale, and Montrose and Camden Park. Customers are reminded of Vinlec's ongoing weekly disconnections in Kingstown and surrounding areas, Beckway, Canawan, Union Island, and Myro. Please take note that disconnected services cannot be guaranteed reconnection within 48 hours. Payments for reconnection should be made at the corporate headquarters at Paul's Avenue between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. weekdays. Customers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines can make payments at the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and at SVG Post Office. Welcome back to Activated Mornings. This morning you're listening to Ari, and with me is Christal, and we are Activated Mornings this morning. But before we move on to the next topic, Christal, over to you. Oh, here we go again. Day number 2.
Licks. Good morning again. Today is the 8th day of May 2024. I want to say happy birthday to Tammy. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, that's it. And I also want to send a special shout out to Cassandra Isaacs. She sells Dalbury in Kingstown. Actually, I'm not too sure if she moves about. But for those former GHS grammar school students, from the alumni, from way back, not way back, but just the other day, and the 2000s, let me put it that way. There once existed a man. He used to call him the Dalbury man. You remember that guy? Remember the Dalbury man?
Get your pre, hot pre.
That's what he used to say things. Grammar school, high school. He used to come with the basket first, right?
Oh no, that's a different Dalbury man.
Yeah,
I remember
come
the
on,
older
man.
guy. Yeah, the older guy
Yeah,
with the nice basket.
the big brown basket. He used to come.
Those were
around,
nice.
right? Yes, I remember. I eat a Dalbury from him, and then after a while, I think he got like a bus. Was it a little minivan? I think it was. He
I'm
had a
not
little
even sure.
vehicle after a while, I believe, if my memory serves me right. But he passed away a couple of years ago, and it's just rather interesting that you see people, and then when they say, "Oh, hello, this is who I am." That's the lady who I just gave a shout out to, was his wife. So have a wonderful day, and thank you for listening to EFM 99.9. Yeah. See people and you don't know them, huh? Big up yourself. Hope you sell off today. Dalbury. Yeah, but she's not one of those Dalbury persons who will say, "Pre."
Get your pre.
Can you imagine a cricket? You just hear outside. You probably wouldn't be allowed to. I don't know how they work.
Yeah, they probably won't be allowed to, but that would be nice.
From like over high school,
That's the culture. That's the culture. You gotta preserve it. That's the culture.
You hear study cricket, all you hear in the back, pre.
And it is for 6 pre. Get your pre.
But Weeks was talking about the roads in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, more particularly, like, I think, okay, let me not stress that part. But there's a road in Glen, right? And every time it's patched, it mash up shortly after. So during Silak, and Silak was what month?
December, I think.
Okay. So what is now? January, February. Is it? It's quite December? No, it's this year.
It was this year. It was this year. So February? It was January.
January? I losing track of time. So during Silak, the road was patched. Particular points in the road was patched, right? January. We said January, right? February, March, April, May. I feel like it was sooner than that. February, March, April, May. 4 months.
According to gov.vc, it was November 2023.
Yeah? So
So
far
it's in
away?
November 2023.
Whichever.
Oh no, the date of the summit has been moved to January 2024 to March 2024.
So it was
Okay.
March. So it was just the other day.
Okay,
Doesn't
no,
like
it
it feels
doesn't
like
feel, it doesn't feel like March though.
it feels
What
like
was
just
it?
the other day. I'm losing
Yeah,
losing it.
well, anyways, we'll get it.
So the
March
road, like we said,
1st.
the road just fixed. All right, the road just fixed, right? The road just fixed. And this particular part of the road, I have observed over the years, every time they fix it, it mash up right after. You know, the road then start to form a pothole in that particular spot there. And I don't understand if it's craziness or if it's
March 1st.
whatever it is, right? March, April, May. We ain't even reached nowhere yet, and the road has already started developing the same pothole in the same spot in the same road, the same thing, and they keep just fixing it. The issue with that area, and it's right outside a business place, is the water that runs off of the property. It goes straight into the road. Now, why would you, as an entity, keep fixing a spot and always having to repeatedly fix it? Fix the issue with the water. If the water is running underground, then fix that. If you need to install a drain, work with the people who own the building, whatever, fix that. So the water runs off properly and goes into the drain and not into the road, because you keep spending money. The road keeps mashing up. Sometimes people within the community have to go and fill it with cement because they cannot wait on them to fix it. It just always mashed up in that one spot. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I want to see they fixing it. That make no sense. There's another spot. I don't know how they did it, the fixing for Silak or during Silak. Let me not say for Silak, during Silak. But within a matter of days, I was seeing grass growing through the road with a patch and the rollover. I'm like, this is not the road. Nah, cabby, that's not grass. Nah. How does grass grow through a road that you patched? Grass. I just walk over it and I just say, you know what? Let me mind my business and drink my water and stay hydrated. Just continue on my merry way. So what Week said, I cement. I mean, I cement. I patch that too. This is a more permanent patch though, because I continue.
I don't know. I feel like we've entered into a stage where persons do jobs to receive a salary and not do jobs to the best of their abilities. The reason I said that, right? You remember between Argyle, I would say, and Bookament, a number of, well, quote unquote, temporary signs went up for Silak. And welcome to this village, that village, whatever, except for the one at Kittles. I have no idea what's the point of that one, but that's my personal opinion. I don't understand that one. But I was on my way to a funeral on Sunday and I saw the sign, or what's left of the sign, that takes you to the petroglyphs in Layu.
Yeah, there was left of the sign.
What's left of the sign? It kind of reminds me of the Rill and Hill sign, that it's still down. Right next to the Silak sign. It's still down. And at this point, you know, as much as it's easy to say, why isn't the government doing X, Y, Z? You have to remember, these persons, although they're being supervised, although they're government senators and ministers that pass these things, there are people who are given jobs and they just seem to do the job to the least of their abilities.
In some cases, and I'm not like just trying to like show you, in some cases, they have to pass through so many things and get like approval for XYZ, and then something else jumps ahead of that. Some things that on the outside might look so simple and irritating, like why this ain't being done, are from behind the scenes more tedious than it appears. However, if somebody comes and says, you better get that done now,
all of that disobey,
2 seconds,
all this
it's
red
done.
tape, God.
2 seconds,
they
it's
rip
done.
it off.
There
rip
is
it up.
a way. And sometimes it doesn't, like the things don't have to get to the stage where you have to call higher than. And if you don't get through, you have to go higher than. I'm like, it's simple things. Simple, and some of these things are aesthetic. You know, just simple things. Just
Thank you, WEFM listeners, for coming to our TED Talk this morning. Moving on to
Yeah,
our
I
other
had to get
story.
that off my chest.
No,
I mean, like,
I'm right there with
and
you.
you
I'm
know,
right there with you.
like roads. Like we always complain about roads. I'm like, I don't want to cuss about roads this week. We cuss about that last week. Let me leave that alone. So it's been brewing. It's like alcohol right now, 40% proof. It's been there for a while.
No, moving on to our I don't even want to say sister country, but sister country Jamaica.
Not CARICOM, yeah, so sister.
Yeah, but you know, that's a whole other thing.
What are you saying? Sisters like St. Lucia Baptist?
No. It's when it goes out, persons tend to label us as the continent known as Jamaica. So you know, I try.
Everybody from the Caribbean gets that label.
Yeah. When I say us, I mean Caribbean people.
Oh.
Caribbean people in general. You hear complain for years upon years. Oh, where you from? Where in Jamaica is that? But anyways, moving on to Jamaica. There have been 218 Indians that have entered Jamaica illegally on a charter flight. Now, trying to remember if I could remember this flight pattern, it is said that the flight went from Italy to Europe to Egypt before going to Jamaica. I hope I got the flight pattern right. They also picked up 2 Germans, I believe.
I saw the plane was German owned.
And the plane is German owned, a Boeing. They're brave. But a Boeing. And now they're in Jamaica illegally, but they're not detained. The plane is detained, but the passengers on this charter flight, they're not detained. They're walking around like tourists. They're staying in a hotel. They're taking photos. They're enjoying Jamaica and taking in this scenery. And the plane did not get permission to land. The plane was not on the flight plans. But
is that they didn't get permission? It was not scheduled to land.
They did not get permission to land.
So
That's what the story said. The story said they just landed. They did not request permission from air traffic. Air traffic was trying to clarify who they are and whatever, and they just landed.
They just
at least based on the story.
So you know what this sounds like when I looked at it? You know what this sounds like? A group of friends. Hey, let we go Sandy Bay. Right? Let me go Sandy Bay. And everybody just gets into a car and they just stop at, it's like a rum shop crawl.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more like an airport crawl.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is really not making any sense. And the apparent hypocrisy behind it all too is when other people from other Caribbean countries come here, this is how they're treated, versus when this plane landed, these folks, and there are videos online of them like just walking up and down the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So why is the difference in treatment or response? What is the reason behind that? And they were quick to send Haitians back and treat them a certain way, but and Haitians, and I don't know if everybody knows the extensive history behind Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
It boils down to it being very ridiculous at this point, because Haiti is a brother and a sister that needs like a lot of help. Like, why are they trying to move out of Haiti? And that's how they treat the buses. Anyways.
Good morning, El Catha. Morning, Trevor. So I'm reading a story here on Radio Jamaica News. It says the headline is PNP demands answers after illegal entry of 218 Indians on charter flight. So the story reads that concerns are being raised about the strength of Jamaica's border security after an apparent smuggling operation was uncovered involving Indian nationals passing through the country. Shadow Foreign and Regional Affairs Minister Dr. Angela Brown-Burke raised the alarm after immigration authorities denied entry to 218 Indian nationals who arrived on a charter flight to Jamaica on Friday. Radio News Jamaica sources say that the aircraft, a white and blue Airbus A340, so I was wrong, it was not a Boeing, it was an Airbus, which is registered in Germany, remains at Kingstown's Norman Manley International Airport. In light of this development, Dr. Brown-Burke is demanding immediate clarity from the government on the matter. We want to know the original destination of the apparent purpose of the flight. You know, the identity of the individual or organization responsible for chartering the flight. Why the flight was allowed to land in Jamaica without proper clearance. Why standard immigration and custom procedures were not followed. Why are the 218 who were on board? Where are the 218 who were on board? And what is to be done about their continued presence in Jamaica? And also, what are the measures that are being taken by the JCF to ensure the safety and security of the Jamaican public? Law enforcement sources told Radio Jamaica News on Sunday that the charter flight did not state it was arriving in Jamaica on Friday. Neither was a passenger manifest sent ahead of its arrival, as is required, but civil aviation officials allowed the craft to land. Checks revealed that the charter had no arrangement to take the passengers back to their destination, which arose the suspicion of authorities. Radio Jamaica learned that the passengers, although denied entry, were permitted to go to the ROK Hotel in downtown Kingston, where they are officially under police guard. Bromberg has taken issue with how the matter is being handled when compared to other situations, including the forced repatriation of Haitian asylum seekers. Many of us remember what happened in COVID-19 when Jamaicans were held at sea and prevented from coming into Jamaica. We would have seen recently the Haitians who were hastily returned to a war-torn Haiti. But here we have 218 persons coming into Jamaica without the proper protocols being followed. We see a difference in treatment of the three different cases. She argued that the situation shows how vulnerable Jamaicans are, as she warned that we will be in serious trouble if the country's airspace is allowed to become as porous as its other borders. And one thing the story did not mention is two of the persons that were on the flight that were picked up in Germany, they are on Interpol's list. So I'm wondering, because if this was St. Vincent Christal, we wouldn't have done that.
We would not. Would it have happened because we rejected an airline the other day? Would it have happened?
And you see, that is also.
I mean, okay, at least at AIA, because up to this day we have not had a conclusive report on that flight.
Mustique? Was it Mustique?
No, it was not. It was definitely not Mustique.
Was it kind of one?
I think it was kind of one where they said they gone sightseeing and it just disappeared. Flight disappeared. Up to this God living day, we don't know. And then even after that initial report, there was another story of what happened to the flight, and then that story got pulled back, and then another story came up. So it was just like something very eerie about it. Up to this day, we don't know what happened, and I don't know if it's like a case where somebody opened them out when they weren't supposed to, but nobody knows. Nobody knows it but them. Up to this day, we don't know where the plane is, and like there's no search, there's no urgency up to this day. Like, okay, could it have crashed? Clearly. Those who are responsible for initiating that, they just like
maybe they just left. Maybe they got tired.
You don't know who's flying the plane. You don't know this, that, and terror. Oh yes, Lord, what a tangled web we weave. But hopefully, that is just, I don't know. Listening to and reading this, that's just like absolutely ridiculous that it was allowed to happen. Ridiculous.
The thing is, seeing the videos was quite interesting.
Which video of the plane on
the persons taking photos, having a full tourist experience as if they're there illegally. But it does remind me of the PM denying charter flights from Nigeria, Dubai, and Morocco to land here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So I would like to believe that we would have at least been more strict with how we deal with situations like that. But you know what's interesting?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Do we have air security? Because when you fly into certain airspace and the aircraft isn't able, or the control tower isn't able to identify you. You are met with a bit of company up there. You are given warning, and if you are not able to comply, then you're shot down.
I'm not too sure if we. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know. You have to ask the Minister of National Security, Honorable.
And that's a good question. Do countries like Jamaica and St. Vincent, do we have what is necessary to prevent a plane from landing? Because how do we actually prevent a plane from landing?
Put a stop sign. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I should not have said that. I'm sorry.
Well, how do we prevent a plane from landing? If a plane decides, hey, I'm coming down.
I mean, now the Holy Spirit. I can't answer that.
I don't think there's anything in place.
You just ask and then you assume. I can't answer that.
No, I asked, and I'm saying I don't think there's anything in place. I'm not saying I know for a fact there's nothing in place. I'm saying I don't think there's anything in place. The more I think about it, what is actually stopping them from landing?
Yeah, you would have to know.
I think maybe countries in Latin America might have more success in that realm, given that they have armies and they have air forces. But in the Caribbean,
sometimes, and like people will get upset because it's not proactive, but sometimes. Okay, we have a call coming in.
Somebody said turn off the lights.
So we don't. What happens if it's during the day? We're going to turn off the sun. We do not have those
We're not
means.
home. We're not home.
You need fighter jets. Let's take a call.
We do what we do and Jehovah Witness class. Good morning, caller. You live?
Good morning. Good morning. I don't think the Caribbean have any way of stopping a plane from landing if the plane really want to land, because airports are allowed to have what we call emergency landing, and so without proper manifesto, proper flight plan, and all that kind of stuff. But what I'm saying is, when the people who come off the plane, you're supposed to detain them. You can't just allow them to walk around and do what they want. You know what I mean? And that's the part. And I mean, the plane should be able to land, because you don't want them people up there flying around and just fall out the sky and die, because then your country look bad too. But when they land, you need to detain them. Find out why there's no flight plan to come to your country. You need to do some investigation. I don't think you could just allow them to go to the airport. And I agree with you, Ari, because I mean, when other Caribbean countries, people go to other Caribbean countries, sometimes they get more hassle than that. They can't even. Sometimes when they get in the airport, they look at them all. How long you coming to stay?
How long you stay in Barbados?
They're ready to send you back home, and you spend good money. You buy your ticket legally and go there to enjoy a vacation, and they're ready to send you back home without even allowing you to come in. So why you allow the Indians to just walk off without a flight plan, without asking for permission to land? That's something crazy to me, man. Anyhow, it's no, again, mix up now. Don't call us the other name. You still haven't confirmed what you all gonna do with it.
I did. Check your messages. I did.
Where?
Yeah, I did. I sent you something. I must send a reminder, man.
Well, remind me, because I just get so many messages sometimes. I don't, because people. You can imagine people just text me and ask me if I know about walking St. Vincent. so I just get a lot of texts. So sometimes
just
remind me.
You missed my message, but I sent you another one just now there, so you should see it right now.
Okay.
All right.
And you have to take my partner Ari, yeah, right?
Yeah. He should remember. He better remember. He remember now.
He's a food man, right?
Yeah, very long from here to Beckway.
We discussing food.
That will tell you he remember, because he would have done talk already.
But All right,
All right.
Kojo. Thanks for your contribution
Okay.
this morning.
No problem.
Before we end this segment, it's important to note that the flight did leave Jamaica yesterday, Tuesday afternoon.
Bye.
So the German registered aircraft landed on Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston on Thursday with 253 passengers, including crew. The Jamaican Civil Aviation Authority says most of the passengers are Indian nationals, while 2 of them are from Uzbekistan and Russia. Chairman of the Jamaica Civil Authority, Lieutenant Colonel Oscar Derby, told Radio Jamaica News that all passengers and crew were accounted for and processed before the charter deported approximately 11:40 a.m. for Dubai. So I guess that's Dubai's problem. No.
It's like the unwanted child.
Right? But we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be back with more activated mornings this morning.